What's up, everybody? Happy Tuesday night.
Hi.
Hi, Lou and Mary. And what is
Hi.
this? Oh,
Hola.
you didn't put the T in front of LIDE.
Oh.
Yeah. Folks,
Wouldn't you need to do
Oh.
that? Because I get confused by that too. And because you have a long name, I
Oh,
actually
D?
think it is the
No,
Long
D,
Island T.
Oh, I just put LIDE.
Yeah.
Oh. Why? Yeah, because honestly, I did it like 3 minutes before.
He did it really quick.
Yeah, like it was like it was like 8:50. I'm like, oh crap, I got to get set up.
I know.
Okay, so
literally
yeah,
like 3
so
minutes
Lou,
ago, I'm like, oh my god, I gotta come downstairs.
Yeah.
I'm sure everybody here knows, but Lou and Mary are the Long Island Dash experience. And yeah, thanks for coming back. We were doing this once a month thing, and then I know that it's been 2 months now.
Yeah.
Because
Life
I know
happens.
that we all had a lot of things going on. I know you had your kids, your two girls that you had to drive
Yep.
back and forth and drop off at school, and now your house is a little more empty. And
Yeah.
I know there was a lot of
Kind of.
travel and craziness.
Yeah, it was fun.
Yeah.
It was definitely fun. Especially our one daughter who was up. Went to school in Westchester. She's actually been coming home on the weekends. But your other daughter who's in Wisconsin. I mean, that was a really fun trip because we've never gone done a road
That
trip.
far.
Yeah, that far west. It was fun. We stayed over in Ohio one night. Went to the good old Cracker Barrel because we don't have any Cracker Barrels here. So any chance to get a Cracker Barrel, definitely all over that. And then we stayed in Wisconsin. And
we stayed overnight.
Yeah.
And then we
Madison, right?
No,
that was Alyssa.
No.
Madeline is in Westchester.
Yeah. No, Eau Claire. He said
Madison. Oh,
Yeah.
Eau Claire.
And we got to I gotta say, where we were in Wisconsin, I told Mary I was so impressed the amount of local businesses and local restaurants over there. Not really that many chains. And it's actually kind of funny. I was looking on doors all over the place. I saw no Uber Eats. I saw no DoorDash signs anywhere. So it was actually really nice to see. And we got to really enjoy fried cheese curds.
Yes.
Yep.
Like from an authentic place.
Yeah.
Like a Wisconsin. It was actually Milwaukee
Burger or something?
Milwaukee Burger or something like that.
And we tried our first Culver's. We never had this Culver's thing.
Being from Michigan, once I've been up there a lot. We used to go. What did they call it? It was like a 3-week music festival that they do every year in Milwaukee. And outside of Milwaukee, the whole state is like that. It's just cool. I mean, it's just laid back and cool. Yeah, you're not gonna see a lot of Uber Eats and this and that. I mean, outside of Milwaukee, I don't even. I'm trying to think. Madison is where the college is too. That's the only other town I can think of. Those two towns, and that's it really for a population.
Yeah,
I mean, oddly, even like Green Bay doesn't have a population. People, if you've ever known this when you're watching football, like it's a very small little place.
Yeah, I mean the town itself is pretty built up. I mean, they have like everything, like anything you need, like anything she needs, she'll be able to get, like Target and Walmart. But then it has like these mom and pop places. Like, unfortunately, her car got a flat, so we ended up having to replace her tire. Luckily, we were still there.
Yeah,
but while we
ran
were
over a bolt.
but while we were there getting the tire fixed, that's where we came upon this. I don't even remember the name of it.
It was kind of like a diner-ish type of a place.
Yeah,
diner.
But it was like a burger, like ice cream shop, and
the owner was
just like hanging out with us while we were eating. It was.
It definitely wasn't like Long Island, where like it's a struggle for anybody even to hold the damn door open for you, let alone have a conversation with you.
Yeah. And they love it. And then we went to Culver's one night for frozen custard,
which we never had before,
which was amazing. And the guy there, he was a transplant from all over. He had lived all over the country, and everyone just loves to talk, and it's so nice.
Yeah. So whenever we can get out of New York, be ready for whatever Dash experience. Who knows where it's? Oh no, it won't be Wisconsin.
The traveling Dash experience.
The traveling Dash experience. Who knows what? But it was actually funny. I went to go. I was playing poker at the hotel on her iPad. And we were like, oh, we really should get some coffee. We needed coffee. And so I went to go get some coffee from Dunkin' Donuts. Oh well, yeah. Oh, that's awesome. Yeah, Culver's was awesome.
Yeah, we went there one night for dinner, and then we went back for the frozen custard.
But we went to go order a Dunkin' Donuts off of DoorDash, and it was like, I don't know, like what was it, like 7 o'clock or whatever?
No, it was more like 8.
8, and they were freaking closed. We were like, what the hell is this about?
Yeah,
It's like it's
I
8
don't know.
o'clock. We need our coffee. And the coffee at the hotel was terrible. No morning coffee that night.
Being a bartender as many years as I did, I gotta say that when I went there, one of the coolest things that I saw was we stayed at one of the hotels. I cannot remember its name outside of Milwaukee. That was where Jeffrey Dahmer used to stay, and it's been revamped.
Oh, that's great.
And no, I mean, but it's still one of those like you pull the lever elevators, and it's just a gate. It's just really kind of weird, but they redid the whole place. Well, the bar down there did Bloody Marys for $5. I'm thinking, okay, well, that's just pretty average price. Let's see how these bloodies are. The bartender, like, they had a whole bloody make it yourself area, like a good bloody bar would. But the bartender himself he'd make the bloody, and he was making them in jars, which I always love because you're gonna make it. He was making them strong, and I was like, dang, I've worked in a lot of bars. He's really putting a lot of booze in there. That's just a heavy hand, and this seems like an upscale place. I'm surprised they allow this. But then he took one piece of thick cut bacon and one piece of one string cheese and put it in there, and that was half the drink. Boom. I was like, oh my God, man. Like, it was like a meal.
Yeah.
I was like, like if I get a piece of bacon and a piece of string cheese in a bloody here in Denver, it's just gonna be like a little tiny snack. Like, that filled me up and the drink.
Yeah.
That's like, I don't know.
That's pretty awesome.
Just like something little different like that, where I've traveled around the country. I've never seen that. And it's like, wow, dude.
What were we talking about the other day? That there's these new burger joints like popping up all over Long Island that they make these like crazy shakes, but it's like a shake, but then it's like a big, huge piece of cake on top or like a cookie on top. And it's like, how can you eat both of those? Like, you would eat just a cookie for dessert.
Right.
You wouldn't have like a cookie in it, but they just like crazy.
Yeah.
Just to make us all fatter.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like it was funny. Somebody left a comment on one of our videos saying, oh, you just delivered diabetes to somebody. I'm like, well, it's nothing really I can do about it. They're going to order that,
Right. I'm not cooking it, and you ordered it. So
yeah, we think it was from the cookie place.
I love troll comments, by the way.
Yeah, Daphne said the Ambassador. That is the name of the hotel, by the way, you guys. If you feel like Googling that, you will see. And that was a regular place he stayed. I guess she says her sister bartends in Milwaukee. And yeah, the Bloodies are great. Yes, they are. And they stand out. And I had another one at another place that day. And same thing. Maybe it wasn't as good, but same thing. Like, I was just blown away. They were giving you meals in a Bloody Mary in these big jars. It's like, we'll get you drunk and this and $5. Yeah. I was like, really? Like, in Denver, like, a big drink like that's gonna be 20. It's not gonna be as good. I don't know. I was just feels homey, even in the big town,
Yeah. No, I think you're right. I mean, it felt like a really awesome place. Then we went to the Mall of America the next day because we flew out of Indianapolis because we left our daughter the car. We went to the Mall of America, which we've never done before, and that was pretty fantastic. Just like going in there, and it's huge. I mean,
seeing like an amusement park in the middle of a mall.
Yeah,
it's crazy.
Wait, how far is Minneapolis from where you were?
Like an hour.
An hour, a little over.
Oh,
an hour.
It is.
Yeah.
That's it. Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was farther.
Those are the cheapest flights home because like the flights from like where we were in Wisconsin,
Chicago,
the prices were like
or Chicago.
Yeah, Chicago's still like 6 hours away. So
but I always forget about the triangle-ness because I also forget that Chicago isn't that far from Minneapolis either. I mean, it's like 3 or 4 hours, but it's not that far. You know? So I forget that you guys were kind of in a triangle. I don't know. I like it up there. I'm from Michigan, so Ohio's a lot like it. We both play euchre. So most people
we
like
drove past Chicago. That was amazing.
I mean, do you guys even know what euchre is? Most people don't. The card game.
I don't know. Do you know?
Lou,
I know I know Bob Euchre.
it's kind of like Crazy Eights. You're playing starting at 9, 10 and up with the suits. The two jacks are the right and left bower of the trump suit. So they're the most powerful.
Yeah.
It gets called. It's a partner's game, so that you're kind of you're playing, reading your partner and reading them. It's a, I don't know. I'm surprised because that's something we need to touch on here for a second. Is that
I'm a poker player. I'm not a card player.
and Lou is, and we've talked about this before, but I think Lou's going to become a professional. I think we're going to see him in the World Series of Poker. He doesn't think so.
No, Lou doesn't like. He doesn't play live.
I don't play live. Yeah, I don't play live. Yeah, Ryan. Ryan plays in the same games that I play, and hangs out on the Twitch stream. So, no, I do not play live. I'm strictly online. I'd rather play a bunch of tables than sit at one table and like be bored out of my mind. I need to like be constantly having action going, like all over the place, being able to make decisions like nonstop, and playing at one table. Plus, my math isn't so good. So when you play online, they do all the math pretty much for you. If I have to sit there at a poker table and actually try and do the math myself, forget it. Yeah, right, exactly.
Don't worry about it. You got $20 coming to you. I think it's more. No, you got 20 million. But I know you play online. Do you ever, or have you ever? Do you like going to a casino live?
It's been so long. I mean,
but do you get it? I have a friend who plays online a ton here, and we have a place not far from us, Blackhawk, that is now fully legal gambling. It used to be $5 limit. It made it so it was like not even worth going up, but now it's like really legit gambling. And he plays online like you all the time, but he does go up there from time to time. He tells me it's different kind of sensation,
in New York, in New York, we don't have it. In New York, at least where they're
the casinos, but they're the computers.
Yeah. You actually can't play. The only place you can play poker around here are in underground clubs. It's not legal here to actually be able to really play poker, be able to collect rake, things like that in New York. The only places that can be done are like at the reservations or whatever, which are nowhere near here, or we got to travel to Connecticut or Jersey, which is a long drive. So New York, one of those states that for whatever reason, they don't allow you to play poker. It's
and Pennsylvania too.
And Pennsylvania too. But yeah, all these are like, these are just long drives and not worth it. Not worth it to go drive 3 or 4 hours
for what you'd get to.
Right, exactly. So now the travel costs to be able to do that when I could just log on my computer and play versus a bunch of people who I can just like dominate and crush and take their money that way from the comfort of my my basement.
I get that, and I get that actually you're good enough that you're playing for them. I mean, everybody does, but you're actually playing in these seriously for the money. But I mean, isn't it a different bit of a rush? If you did have something close, would you go once in a while?
I'm sure I would definitely go once in a while because I mean, as soft as the games are, meaning soft, like not like the players aren't that great. Most of the players aren't that great. Casinos are even softer, So yeah, and anytime that I've gone and played live, I've walked away winning a bunch of money. But it's just really the opportunity just isn't there, and it's just too much of a pain. And yeah, I mean, I have a buddy who says, "Oh, that they're having a tournament down in Jersey," but I never end up going because it's just like, I don't know. It just also the thing is like I play online, I play behind a computer, you can't see my face. It's a very different game playing live too. I'm sure I have so many freaking tells that other players be able to tell from me, and I, with other players around me, it's completely different than just clicking a mouse. Yeah, but the games are softer online, and the prize pools are a lot bigger too. I mean, the fact that like I could win, $1,200 plus, one night, and then $500 the next, and and whatever, and to be able to do that multiple times and be able to play, like last night from 10 o'clock until about 12:30. I played 19 tournaments last night.
Wow.
in 2.5 hours. So
is that like, normal though, or is it 4 hours normal? I mean, how long do you normally live play?
Usually I play.
I know that you never know. I know you don't know.
Well, no, I keep a schedule. So like if I play at night, I usually play. I usually reg tournaments usually between like 6:30, 7 o'clock, and I usually stop regging about like 10:45 at night. So I play probably about like 5 hours or so. You know, the tournaments go by pretty fast. Like that's the other thing. Like compared to playing live and playing online, live everything is super slow. Where online everything's really fast. So, you know, just sitting there and waiting for somebody to
Because like
make.
you said, the math is done, so everyone is click, 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 click.
Yeah.
Right? It's just easy to click the
Not,
buttons.
not only that, but you have people live that, you know, it's why you can't watch poker live on TV. It's brutal because they'll sit there and they wait, you know, try to make a decision for 5 minutes. Like, it's not that difficult. You know what you're doing. You don't need 5 minutes to think about what you're doing here. If you're thinking about
You're
5
right.
minutes what you're doing,
I forget.
then you've already lost.
There is the anger factor in the casino for sure. You
Yeah.
know, that person at the table, you're like, dude, come on, man. Come on. I've been here for 3 hours.
It's really not that hard. Yeah. It's really not that hard.
No. Yeah, I mean, there should be clearance levels given to people on, you know what I mean? Like, you should have clearance levels given to you on what tables you can play in live casinos.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, dude, you're a 2, man. You can only play.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. If you're gonna take a half hour to make this decision, you know, listen, some of us actually
go to that table.
Yeah, exactly. So I just, you know, I'll do it at some if it ever, you know, if we ever live near a casino. Oh, sorry, Siri's talking to me for whatever dumb reason. You know, if we ever lived near a casino, I'm sure I would go, but just purely for entertainment purposes, not for like, you know, like I have a poker bankroll.
Or comp room,
I wouldn't
you
make
know,
the match, you know.
Yeah.
Like that's something I do up here.
Right.
Like I like, let me put it this way. I hate slot machines. I think they're the dumbest thing in the world. They bore me. I mean, it's just something to sit there and do nothing. I don't count on any money. I count on I could take like, you know, a certain amount of money and sit there and play it for hours and not win or lose. But
that's the thing. And that's why I like poker, is because poker, you're playing against other people. You're taking their money.
Oh, I play the table games, but
slots,
up here,
slots, blackjack, all that stuff. You're eventually going to lose because the odds are in the house's favor.
Right.
You know, you can play over a lifetime, and you at best maybe you'll break even, but you'll never win because the house has set it up that way.
Other than
the house is banking on the fact that you're going to win. Yeah, the house is banking on the fact that you're going to win, because what happens when you win? Now you want to play more and win more, and eventually you give it back.
And that's what I was getting at. All of us, like people who snowboard and move out to Colorado to ski and all this other backcountry stuff. So Blackhawk's on the way up to that. And so we all learned a long time ago that like these casinos all have decent hotels. They're not like the crappy rundown ones in a lot of these casino towns. They're up in the mountains. So you can go in there and like to get a Players Club card and just sit at, even I'm talking about, like, I would never do this, but like quarter slots or something. They'll give you free drinks, which they don't do in most casino towns. I mean, they will, but they kind of really wander and make sure you're there an hour or something. Here, they're moving them to you to sit there, and you can crank in points real quick and get like sweets and stuff. So it's like, I know not just friends of mine, but other people who live out here in Colorado, transplants, who literally do this game of just getting points to get free rooms. Like, and they don't even enjoy what they're doing up there. They just go up there to drink, and they're just like,
right.
It's not even like how it normally goes when you're with people. Like, are you winning? They're like, I don't know, man. I'm just trying to get my room.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm winning because I'm going to get my room.
Right.
It's all about that. It's just about the perks. I mean, I do know a couple people who are more serious and there are some card games up there worthwhile if you're a big poker player, but yeah, I hear you. So the bigger money. So before I move off this subject, though, I want to ask Mary then. So do you count in your monthly earnings lose winnings, at least on some kind of average? Like, he might lose, but we have to count in. I think you guys do.
He's like his poker money, like it doesn't come from bills. It's all money that he's actually like accumulated.
Yeah.
It's like amazing.
I don't deposit. I don't deposit. Okay. I only withdraw.
Yeah.
I only withdraw because once I deposited, I never need to deposit again.
Because the way he does it, it's like, depending on how much money he has, that's how much money he can play for that night.
You play like a certain percentage of your bankroll on any given day, any given tournament, essentially, is like really how it works. So this way, then you never go broke. And for me, being a winning player, I never really have to worry about that anyway. I mean, I'm constantly withdrawing money from my bankroll to be able to pay for things, and it just builds right back up right away anyway. So,
not to toot your own horn.
Listen, I'm very confident. I feel very good about myself, and I got the graph to prove it.
One thing
Ryan knows. He
watches
watches the stream.
One thing I'm curious about is this $600 reporting's earnings. I know that it's already gambling anyway, but is anything going to change with your earnings reportings?
So, like, the thing is with poker, it's very, very gray area regarding that, especially because in the United States, there's only a couple of states that actually actually have legal online poker, and that's Pennsylvania, Michigan, Nevada, New
Colorado
Jersey.
must, because
Colorado doesn't. New York doesn't. So all of us, we have to play on sites that are offshore.
Oh, Delaware.
Delaware, right. We have to all play on sites that are offshore. So it's definitely a gray area because it's not regulated in the United States.
Even though sports gambling is now?
Sports gambling is, but God forbid, God forbid poker be regulated. Except for in those states. And Connecticut's getting it at some point soon. So Pennsylvania has it. But New York, once again, God forbid we can play some poker. It's
you can go on the sports.
You would think so.
Drafting one. You can go on the sports drafting ones now and bet on the president, like you can do in Vegas.
Yeah.
Who's going to win the presidency? Who's going to win this election? Who's going to win this? I mean, but you can't.
Yeah, I've been doing some sports betting on FanDuel. Yeah, we can do like sports betting and stuff.
I guess my point is,
but you can't play cards.
No.
But yeah, I mean,
play cards.
But my point is, cards go way back past sports. Way back past sports.
The game is called Texas Hold'em. It's Texas Hold'em. How is it that in the United States it's not regulated? It's Texas Hold'em. Texas.
Because it's Texas. Hold your money. We're not going to give it to you.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, CD, I asked the same thing. What they
Louis
meant to put was what I still don't think you would have got it though. Maybe you would have. He meant to put TLIDE.
No, you know what it is? Nova Dasher was streaming one night, and I came across him streaming, and I was like, oh, let me go hop in real quick. And maybe I was in chat or whatever, and I said, why don't you hop in? So I just hopped in and I just typed it like real quick.
Oh yeah, I actually I've had Nova on my stream, and I've only caught a couple of his, but I think I remember the night you did that because there was a joke in around because people were asking for wrenches, like moderator handles. And then he was like, you owe me that $10. And then somebody came in and was like, are you selling moderator handles? And I was like, I'll buy. Like the driven mom, Lisa, was in there, Tony's wife. And I was like, well, here's $2. I gave him a $2 super chat. I was like, here's $2 for Lisa's. So everybody's like, you can't sell. I'm like, he's not, but and nowhere does it say you can't sell mod handles.
Ryan wants you to play poker while dashing.
Ryan, that Twisted Tony plays poker while dashing, so I'll let him do that kind of stuff. He knows what I'm talking about.
So before, I really do want to talk about the thing I sent you earlier, Lou, but before that I want to ask Mary, so how are you doing with the kids gone, and how's work and life?
It's actually like funny, like I mean, Madeline's been coming home every weekend, so we can't really miss her that much. And they've been very good about like they're constantly calling and texting, so it's like hard to miss them because like they're still like the only thing we miss is the loudness of the stomping of the feet and the dirtiness and the leftover things in the living room.
Things left over. You have a teenage son. You know how it is.
Yeah.
I have my moments where I'm sitting in the living room and I'm like, oh, I wish I had one of my girls to like talk to. But what hit me most was when we were flying over Wisconsin and I was watching a movie and I'm like sitting there, I'm like, oh my God, we just left our daughter in Wisconsin and we're not going to see her till Thanksgiving. And I'm just sitting there. That's what got me.
That's definitely been the weirdest thing. Just like not we've been seeing Madeline obviously on the weekends, but and just how quiet the house is during the week. And like she said, the stomping of the feet, they had very heavy feet and we don't hear it.
Even like getting James up in the morning, like I have to get him up for school, and I'm used to like I have to wake the 3 of them up to get them up, and that's a little different.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've been busy with work, tired.
Can you fix that? Can you fix it?
Yeah.
I don't know if I could fix it.
Wait, what are we looking at? Oh, this?
Yeah, how do you fix it?
Well, what I can do is I can just, the only thing you can do is leave and come back, but I can also just do
I'm
this
not doing that.
I can just do this.
Yeah.
Yeah. Here the
now, if you don't know us, if you don't know any of the 3 of us, why are you here?
Right.
Yeah, right, exactly.
I'm just kidding, you guys. I'm just kidding. That's no way to earn subs, and I appreciate all the subs.
How did I get on this channel?
So yeah,
do you want to show them the unveil?
Yeah, wait, yes.
So our one daughter, she had gone and got a tattoo. She's 18 years old, and then she went and got another tattoo. And I've been thinking about getting a tattoo for like the longest time. So Lou and I we're both trying to lose weight. So there's a certain tattoo that I'm going to get eventually when I get to my goal. But with the girls leaving, I wanted to get something sentimental for them. So I don't know if you can see. So I got that.
Wow, that's pretty big. Like you went big on that one, huh?
Yeah.
It's great though.
Nice. So it's got, awesome. It's like a infinity heart with their names on it, all 3 of them.
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah.
She wasn't messing around.
No. Yeah. It was like go big or go home.
Did I miss the part if you guys did it together?
No.
Lou's not into
separate
tattoos. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I ain't doing no tattoos.
Yeah, Lou's he's a scaredy cat.
Yeah.
Lou, I'm tattoo free too, man.
I
got nothing. I got nothing against him at all. Nothing against him at all, but I just don't have one. In fact, my ex-wife had one on her ankle, and she had like 4 times like laser surgery removal to get it off. It had the color green in it, and it was just a nightmare for her. It finally got down to like this bare. It was like as transparent as Instacart. You could barely see it.
Right, Ryan, if I did that, I would totally be called a shill. You know that.
Wait,
see?
What?
Thank you, everyone. Yeah, it's Lou's losing too.
I've lost weight, but it's less noticeable because
because he's not on camera. Like when we go into the shops, the camera's on his head, so he's looking at me.
I noticed my man boobs were getting smaller, so that's a positive.
Nice. That's a positive, yeah. Have you guys been back to work? I know that there was, all this travel was kind of recent. I know you've been back to your jobs, but have you been back to I know I saw the video. I looked before we came on to see that you put out some videos, but have you got fully back into it, or you just kind of?
We did 15 hours last week.
We did. Wow.
But no, we
realized we did that much.
Yeah. Well, no, because I went out because I went out Friday night. That's
right.
I went out Friday night.
About 15 to 20 is what you do normally, right?
Yeah. We have 3 videos recorded, so now things will be a little more up to date. We got the video coming on Thursday, which be ready. It's one of those Mary and I getting into. We had let's just say we had a conversation, a heated conversation, not an argument, but an agree to disagree long conversation. But it all had to do with gig work. Right. So it was actually really interesting and good for the channel because it was all about selecting orders and, communication and her driving. So, and my communication to her and her communication to me. So I'm going to tell you right now, I'm only midway through cutting up Thursday's video. It's going to be a long one. Be ready.
Ryan said Mary won the conversation.
Yeah, well, listen. but yeah, exactly. And then yeah, and we have a heavy duty shopping episode coming up in 3 videos from now, and then the one in the middle was like, I don't remember even what happened in that.
I don't
I
remember
don't
what
remember what happened
happened
in that
like
shift.
2 days ago.
A lot of times I forget what happens in a shift. I don't know what the video's gonna be titled. I know nothing until I edit it. I'm like, oh, okay, here's the story of this episode of this episode. I didn't even know what it was. Sometimes, like when we're doing a shift, like I kind of know, like, okay, I see where this is probably gonna end up going. So I kind of get in my head already. Like I know, like with us, it's about that episode. It's about our conversation.
Right.
Shopping. For the last one. Yeah.
Oh, now I remember what happened in the last one.
Mary getting super tilted. So
annoying. That last order was rough. Lou was even getting tilted.
That was something I was going to add. So Lou asked me today in a text how it would define his channel, and I'm actually going to go back and redo it. But that's one of the things, and it's not the fighting part. It's the reality between you two. When I said a couple, I wasn't getting detailed enough, and it's the reality between you two. Because I see other couples doing it, but you don't really know what's behind it. I feel like when I watch you guys, I feel like you guys aren't even, and it's a good thing, but you're not even trying to like go, hey, let's not do that on the camera. It's like, it's real.
Yeah. we legit forget that the camera is even on. We totally forget.
That's why we always say it's like a fly in the wall. Like you never know what's going to come out of our mouths.
There are times totally forget the camera's on.
Lou does edit some of the stuff out, but
yeah, but not much. But not
hey,
much.
Congratulations, Ellen. My son has to do
nice.
that on the 28th of this month, I think, is his date.
Boy, that's awesome. That's great.
So
get ready for anxiety.
That's awesome.
I'm gonna say,
yeah.
The kids start driving. That's the thing. It's like,
look, she put the happy face next to it. It should be the fear face.
Yeah, or both. It's like mixed emotions when they get their licenses.
Right. Yeah, it's going back to talking about the kids again and them going away. I said, like, one of the things like I miss but don't miss is like the worrying about where the heck they are. Like now they're on campus. That was definitely one of the things, especially the last couple of months, with the driving and everything, and then being out late. Like worrying, like where are they? What are they doing?
Well, that's the thing I've always said, like in all parenting, like if I don't see it, it's not happening. Because like even like at the playground, and I would be watching the kids and they'd be like on the monkey bars, on like top of the monkey bars, and I'm like, oh my god, and then I would hear about them talking about it, that they did it in school, and I'm like, oh, okay. It's like when I see it, it's like, oh my god. But then if it happens and I wasn't looking,
yeah, right, exactly.
Yeah. No, for sure.
Yeah, always worrying.
But I mean, I just thought it was kind of funny because I was trying to put myself in your shoes. So my son is in his sophomore year, or his junior year, sorry. So he has this year and next. And when he goes away, I was trying to think, am I going to worry about him less? Like, I don't really worry about him right now, though. You know what I mean? Like, he's just pretty responsible, and I don't know.
It's
I trust
just different
him. Or
worry.
he's
different.
way better at a poker face than I am, even, and he's just awful. I don't know. Hopefully not. Max, if you're listening,
yeah, like
awesome,
this morning, Madeline texted me. She's like, I have a question for you, and she's like, can I ask? Oh no, she's like, can I ask you a question? And all morning I'm like, oh my god, does she want to drop out of school? What's going on? Does she want to come home? And all she wanted to know is if she could have some money. That's all she wanted to know.
She wanted to be back on the payroll.
Like I had gone over the deep end, like, oh my god, she's dropping out of school, she's coming home.
Yeah. But that's what happens. Like both of us, like we so overthink about like what's going on with our kids. Like there was one night where my daughter like came home late, and I mean I had like every like negative thing come in my brain, like of what could be happening, like every possible like super extreme thing.
Lou thought she was out prostituting herself.
Yeah, I was like, is she out like dealing drugs? Like what is she do? And it turns out she was just at a friend's house. Yeah, she was at a friend's house playing video games.
Lou.
Yeah, I know. Like, but this is where the parent thought goes. Is like, what's happening right now? I was like, is she? Like what happened? But now, like I said, that's the thing. It's like, the biggest worry now is like that they are struggling internally. I really feel like
Right.
is my biggest worry now is that they'd be struggling internally and not communicating it.
Right. Where they're not like, because well, Alyssa is in a room by herself. So I'm worried that like she's not getting out and meeting people. But she joined a magic, the magic playing card. She joined a magic group. And then Madeline, she joined a Dungeons and Dragons group. So like they are, but it's just when they call me or call Lou, it's because they just want to say hello.
Yeah, which has been different because they never said hello when they lived in our house.
They would just come up.
I don't think there's a negative to having a single room dorm.
Oh no, not at all. Because
because you're still on the same. You're on the floor with all the double dorms. Actually, you just realize how good you have it.
Exactly. Yeah, her room is amazing. She has 2 beds. Yeah, she's got a nice setup. The other one, we're gonna try to get her a single next year, just because she has like a lot of anxiety and doesn't like people sometimes. So
yeah.
Just because, oh my God, I can't even believe I'm going to tell this. I don't know if I've ever told this story. I'm going to do it on the internet right now. I mean, I have. There's like few people, but you just got me thinking about this. So when I was dating a girl when I was back in Michigan who was at Michigan State, and it was her freshman year, and she lived in a double that connected to a single. You know what I'm saying? Like how they sometimes the rooms open. Okay, so they connected to a single, and the person who was in the single did not like either the person I was dating or her roommate, and they were getting along great. They were getting along with everybody else too. At the time, the person I was dating was a smoker, and Michigan State it was very tough to smoke in dorms or whatever. But this girl who had this is such an awful story. This girl who had who had the single dorm next to theirs went home to visit her parents, and my girlfriend put a cigarette on an ashtray, and it fell off and lit the dorm on fire.
Oh, geez.
And oh my God,
like burned that whole room out. And the fire team had to go and knock the wall out, everything. Like this girl's single room was scorched. Nothing was done to their room.
Oh God!
Wow! Wow!
Oh my God!
I mean, just
and this is why they can't. This is why they can't have candles in rooms. By the way,
yes.
I can't even believe I told that story. I was just thinking of it. I'm like, man, I forget what it because I remember I was at work. I was bartending. And I got like, a call or whatever it was. And it was like, oh my, it was crying and not making any sense. I'm going, what? I mean, it should have just been turned on the news because in East Lansing, for Michigan State, all you gotta do is turn on the news. And but yeah, her whole family got really messed up with that. They had to pay for the whole thing. My exes.
Wow.
Yeah, and it was, as you can imagine, a Big Ten college school. Treated the estimate as such, and then still padded it a third time.
Oh my God! Wow.
It was probably, I don't, you can't even imagine what you're paying now. I'm about to start having to deal with that for Max, but I mean, like this is many years ago, so I mean, this is, school was a lot cheaper, but I imagine that what that cost her was probably 3 to 4 times what a 4-year education at Michigan State was.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Wow.
Ouch.
Yeah.
But that's just the kind of dumb stories. I don't know if anybody has another one that are that bad. That one's pretty bad. I remember. And then I was like, I'm working. I can't do anything. She's like, well, get over here when you can. And I'm thinking, okay, when I get off, something's going on over there. And I went over there and there's like 8 fire trucks. And I'm like,
oh, geez.
I mean, I couldn't see it because she was on the backside facing the Red Cedar River, which is known for running through campus. But I saw the trucks in the front of the building and I was like, oh, I just knew it was her. Obviously, this is her. What have you done?
Was that
like
your last day with her?
half of the East Lansing fire departments here? This is not good.
Yeah,
I don't know.
Oh, jeez.
I'll move past that.
Wow. That's crazy.
Yeah, once in a while you got to drop a weird story.
Yeah.
But speaking of which, so we talked about this a little bit last night on the Para Round. I've been doing these Para Round tables for Para. And real quick, by the time I think about this too much, this is what happens to me, just so you guys know.
That's what happens when you work from home, by the way.
Yeah. Is that going to be your next TikTok?
It very well might be. That's what happens. You have that thought. Hey, listen, it only takes 20 seconds to record that. That's the best part. Then you go back to your day.
Well, Lou, you taught me to throw in little clips to keep people's attention.
Yeah, there you go.
That's a good one because it's got noise and
My future ex-wife.
like that's actually Great Post Future Ex-Life right there. Steve exposed so much.
I sent these to you. I'm gonna see if I can set it up this way because I didn't do it for the other panel correctly in the right setup. Let's see if this works.
Oh yeah. So, I didn't show you.
Right, but I was trying to. Oh, it's gonna just overlay us. Never mind. But yeah, so I set this up, and so Ron and I did this, and if this should make sense to people, but I want to talk about this. I mean, because I said, does this make sense to you? And you said yes. And I got to mention that, like, if you look at the yellow line, and then we'll talk about these time increments and stuff, but if you look at the yellow line at 100% acceptance rate, you're making, what is that, $19? Okay. All the lines in the beginning, which is the far left for everybody watching. If you can't read it at the bottom, it's 100% to far left, all the way down to 5 at the end. So you're at $19. Now, if you go to the 5% end of the yellow, meaning you're taking orders 1 minute in between when you end a dash between the next dash, you're still making more at 5% than at 100.
Right.
I mean, not much, but that 19's at like 20 and change now. So literally the worst thing you can do, and he did, this isn't one of the street, this isn't one of the top dasher challenges that's going on right now. He did this in March,
right,
long before all these people were talking about this and stuff. And this is a friend of mine, Ron, Entree Courier. He did 85 days, or he did like 60 days as top dasher and keeping it as top dasher, not playing the right after you get the top dasher status, go down to 5 and then build it back up. He stayed top dasher. And so he actually learned. That's why he used that 19 point to launch them all. It wasn't like the first day he was like, everything's 19. That 19 is based on like 30 days prior.
So he kept a high acceptance rate throughout the entire thing. He kept on taking the bad orders.
To come up with the first number, the $19, just think of it like for 30 days, he was keeping his acceptance above 70%.
Right.
Okay.
For the first month as top dasher. Okay.
Right.
And that's how he got the average of 19, because he figured he needed a good long run of, okay, it's a 70% and up. What's happening here? What am I getting? And the average was 19. Now this this becomes the 85 days after, starting at the first entry point on the left. So the $19 average that represents the pre-time, but then this is the 85 days after. And every one of the lines, I mean, they all have their breakoff points, but like, you know, like we were talking about, like on the yellow, the sweet spot is 40 to 15% acceptance rate. And you can see that like 40% isn't even, it doesn't mean 40% is the highest in this case, but this is a good model, I would think, for people to try this in your market and see how it turns out, because it really is the first logical like way of looking at this I've really seen. But if you look like at 25%, or 20%, that's where he was making the most. So he's saying between 40 and 15, but the most is 20. Second most is 25, you know, then 30, then 35, then 40. And then the lowest is 15. So, I mean, it's just strange to me. And then even at the, if you're doing 3-minute waits in between, the sweet spot is 65 to 35%. And here's how he showed that.
See, now what would have been interesting is that's just DoorDash.
Yes.
What would have been interesting is comparing that to multi-apping, because I really think that's the comparison, is what's better, being
Right.
being top dasher or multi-apping. Now,
Well,
I think from a
he straight
safety
up says,
standpoint,
yeah.
like what's it like, there has to be, my guess is there's a minimal difference between top dasher, if top dasher is getting all of these orders, which I think they are, based on what I've been seeing from other YouTube channels. Um, they're getting a lot. They're getting I do believe they're getting the top priority orders, the good and the bad.
Mhm.
But what's better? If multi-apping and being selective is going to get you the same dollar per hour as being top dasher and having to fight off all this other stuff and then having to get that acceptance rate at the end of the month, if they're both doing the same exact thing, but maybe now you're taking a pay cut at the end of the month because now you got to get there, then maybe multi-apping is better. But I think it's very interesting because I think it's very, very close. And I think it's market specific. And
Yeah.
preference.
Mhm.
And preference is a big thing too.
I think it's market specific, but I think you can take his chart, and this is something he and I talked about. Again, if you guys want to find Ron, he is on YouTube, but I don't think he's even posted on there in like a year. But he definitely writes for his entrecourier.com. He lives here in Denver in my market with me. Great guy, very analytical with all this stuff. And he's a multi-apper, and he already determined that both ways, being top dasher or being uh top dasher status for the remainder of the month type thing, and how the curve went before he would lose the status. He in both instances, multi-apping won by far.
Mm,
By far.
mm,
One of the things he told me was that, so one of the overall things he learned was, as when he was doing top dasher for those 30 days, he made like $80 more, and he's retired and works part-time. He works 25 hours a week,
mm,
same days, same
Mhm.
time. So he's a very good example when you're running a test like this. But he said that $80 more maybe in the 30 days compared to 30 days. That's nothing. And that was for the top
Mhm.
dasher one, but he said twice as much gas spent.
right.
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 So he said overall
So
huge
yeah.
lose.
Yeah.
Huge lose.
Right.
Right.
And then you can have a day like we had Sunday where we had literally like 3 door dashes. So how are you
Yeah.
even supposed to
So spoiler alert, in the upcoming videos, we actually were going to go for top dasher again, because I've been like, I've been seeing these videos, and I think it's actually really interesting. I'm like, yeah, I want to kind of like hear for see for ourselves, and like we just like couldn't we couldn't take we couldn't take the offers that we would have to take. It just made no, like, we've been doing. I sent you a screenshot of the spreadsheet. And, when
Mhm.
we did that, when we tried to go for top dasher in March, we made $20 an hour. Since that month, our monthly dollar per hour before taxes has been what, $27, $28, $26, $27 since then, doing the multi-apping. Now, here's the thing, like, because I don't think top dasher is a bad thing. I think actually
No, I don't either.
yeah, if where I do think it's a bad thing for one thing, and I'll get into that in a second. Why there is a bad part of it, but multi-apping is hard. Multi-apping is hard. Multi-apping is hard, and multi-apping is dangerous. All right. Because you can't 100% have be focused on the road. So I think, first of all, if you want to be a lot safer, and and you can get more than 100 orders in a month, because that's a big thing. We can't do 100 orders a month. It's impossible.
we've tried.
We've tried. We can't do it. Then it makes a lot of sense. Now, where I think top dasher is bad, and this has nothing to do with anybody who is top dasher, it's DoorDash having top dasher as even a thing.
Exactly.
And I think nobody looks at that. Oh, it's not about no tip, no trip. It's not about oh, these people are taking the bad orders, living the bad orders. It's, why is this even a thing? Why is top dasher a thing? It's the most ludicrous thing, like, and basically DoorDash is basically making everybody these lab rats having the top dasher and making you, okay, well, let's see, this lab rat doesn't have top dash, which way they go. This lab rat does have top dash, where does this go? Basically, in a way, almost like controlling the drivers who are driving for DoorDash. So, I don't blame top dashers for delivering no tips. I blame DoorDash for having top dasher.
Yeah. Well, the other thing that too, that I know you haven't watched it yet, and I'm glad you didn't watch it
I
because it
didn't.
would
I
have spoiled.
want to watch it because I didn't want to. Yeah.
Yeah. But so Flex was on that one, of course. Why would I not have Mr. Flex? He drives more than anybody. He's and he does it all live. But and a lot of the panel, David, a lot of us, agreed with Flex on this one big time, was that you know, it's not a secret, guys, that you don't need to be a top dasher to be on the large order program. That's all you're really looking to do. Unless here's how the way that we were kind of looking at it, I think after an analysis, was that unless you live somewhere rural where you can never dash now, that might make top dasher a must. If you just can never dash, and if you can't schedule, and whatever's just not working and you cannot work it, and if you don't have another app to move to, or if you're sure you can make money doing it, then maybe all that becomes worth it. But really, it became, if everybody can get on the large order program, and we were talking about how you have to be at 50%, but you don't anymore. You just have to get an invite, and he was explaining how you just call for an invite if you want one.
Yeah. I actually, because I saw Pedro's video about that, so I immediately went and contacted DoorDash, and they said that right now there's no available positions for the large order program. So I was like, all right, well, whatever.
You tried,
right? But that means so if you were a top dasher, it still would have been that way, though.
Right. Yeah, because if they're saying that's not available, then it's just not available. But like,
because it's available to anybody who calls. Yeah.
But I do believe in the idea. And I've been watching Kim stuff, and I do believe in the idea that top dashers are getting priority on all orders, the good and the bad, and that us as non-top dashers are getting the scraps. Whether there's a top dasher, maybe there's not enough top dashers around, the top dashers are busy, we're getting the scraps. But the thing is, like, not all the scraps are bad. I mean, sure, we're not getting, like, I see the orders that Kim has been showing, and they're fantastic. They're fantastic orders. We've never seen anything like that. So there's 100% like that. That's definitely a thing. We don't get, we get, the $9 to $10, $11 orders, but that's fine. That's working. Getting top dasher. Hi, cat. You hear the cat? I don't know if you hear the cat meowing. It's hard. And especially if you're a part-timer. If you're a part-timer, like us, 16 hours a week, multi-apping makes a lot more sense if you want to make more than $25 an hour, because doing DoorDash by itself, not being a top dasher, that's the one thing about those numbers, is that the dollar per hour that you show for having a low acceptance rate, if it's not a top dasher, like there's no way. There's no way that you can get 3 orders in an hour just with DoorDash and make $25 an hour, not as a top dasher. If you're just going to do DoorDash, I would definitely say go to be top dasher, because you'll probably make more money that way, because you're just going to see more orders that way. You'll see the amount of orders that we see multi-apping by getting the Uber and that's always blowing up, and getting the DoorDash, which is going off, and getting the Grubhub, which gives you a cowbell every hour, and then having some Instacart on the side, then you'll make the money. So it's just,
thank you, Jason.
Like, what are you doing?
Thank you, Jason, for the super sticker. Yeah, I hear you. In fact, but I would say that, like, okay, Nova, for instance, right? we were talking about Nova Dasher. So Nova's crossed over 18,000. Marco's done over 18,000 deliveries now on DoorDash alone.
Mhm.
Which is a
And he
lot.
has a
That's a lot
full-time
of deliveries.
Yeah.
That's a lot of deliveries, yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, yeah, I think Flex is just about to hit 18, so he's even a little in front of him. And so I don't know, and I don't know if I know somebody who has more than Marco.
Well, how many
actually,
hours a week does he do, like delivering?
He
'Cause-
does
'cause I-
well. He does pretty well. Where like the times match up. You know, a lot of markets, like some of the Dasher active time is like it's like 50% to it's
Yeah.
like double the hours. Like his don't match up like that. His isn't really like a lot of downtime. And I don't know. He lives in Virginia. A lot of Virginia
Yeah.
cities seem to just rock it. I don't know.
Right.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So, and doesn't he service DC too? I think he might,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not sure.
or maybe
I haven't
not.
had a
If
chance to
not,
watch.
no. Actually, I think he's that whatever that city is out by the airport in Virginia, leaving DC. But
Right.
regardless, he's in a big area where just it's a Virginia. It's politics. There's things going 24 hours a day, kind of
Yeah.
style, and like he can do really well.
Yeah.
But I mean, like when I had him on the podcast, I was saying that I thought, okay, so you've completed 18,000 deliveries, and at the time he had just done it like a week ago. That's when he finally crossed over. And so
Yeah. I listened to the podcast. It was a great podcast, by the way. If you guys haven't checked it out, check out that podcast and all of Steve's podcasts, by the way. If you haven't listened to all his podcasts, what the heck are you doing? Okay. Anyway.
Yeah. The audio podcasts sound really good to you guys. So yeah,
fantastic.
Thanks. But yeah, so out of the 18,000, I said, how many do you think, honestly, what do you think your overall from day one to where we are now acceptance rate is, including the beginning when you were taking them all, whatever? What do you think it is? And he was like, I don't know, maybe 8%, 9%. So in my head, I immediately did, okay, he's taken 18,000, he's completed 18,000 orders. If he's accepted since the beginning an average of 8-9%, let's call it 8. I mean, he's up at he's had upward of 200,000 offers to his phone. Really? No, this is where it kills me. It's like, dude, do you know how much data do people understand how much data costs? Do you know how much it costs to send him those orders every time? And they talk about, like these algorithms being able to pick up on things. David and I had we hit on the point for a minute last night about how, dude, this is ridiculous because of all the things that should be able to pick up on, is it like Marco or Flex? They don't take these orders. Stop sending it to them.
Right. Yeah.
Like,
well,
I mean,
well, and then
there's just no rhyme or reason. I've got nothing.
Yeah.
Wait, when was it? I forget. Saturday?
Labor Day. Remember Labor Day went after a really short shift?
Lou declined like 2 or 3 offers, and they just kept shooting him back. It's like we're
the
not
same offers.
it,
Yeah,
like the same exact offer. So then it makes your acceptance rate even like worse because. So it's like how can you get Top Dasher when they just keep sending you the ones that you're not going to do anyway?
Yeah. The algorithm, I agree, should learn. But again, if Top Dashers are getting priority, if you have like, let's say 5 Top Dashers in your like radius of where you are, and there are only so many orders that's that exact specific time, like you might end up seeing the same thing. Like DoorDash would be like, just freaking take the thing here. I'll give you like $3 more. Just take the stupid thing, And
but it wasn't. It was the same money. It was the same.
It was complete garbage. That was at Bed Bath and Beyond. That was terrible.
At least like Instacart will like throw you a couple dollars every like 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Wait,
except for that one customer.
Wait a minute. Are you sure? Because
no, they do.
I have proof of. Okay, really? Well, for you guys,
they do. No, we see it. We definitely see it because
right. You see
it. We watch.
Yeah, we definitely. I would say. I know you don't want to hear this, Steve, because I know you don't like Instacart.
No,
I know.
No, I do. I do. I
but,
love hearing the good stories. They just don't apply to me.
Right.
We've actually have
been
like
crushing it on there.
Instacart is like our big winner recently.
Yeah, a lot of times if we don't have like we have once in a while where we don't have any Instacart in our shift, but I've definitely noticed a drop in our pay if we don't have and the Instacarts we do are very small orders. We do these $11, $12, $15 Instacart orders.
Except
well Well,
Okay, so
watch
I'm gonna share one here. I want to see if, like, guys, I know that, yes, I pick out a lot of bad ones, but I'm gonna show you guys one that this is recent. Yes, it's probably even on the worst side, but they don't get much better than this. I'm not kidding you.
Mm.
This is pretty much what I get. I mean, this is what I see all day long. And again, I don't have a lot of Instacart experience, but this is what it is since I've ever tried Instacart. Let's take a look. Because it's, how can I mention this? If it's uploading, it's almost done, but how can I mention this before it goes? It's not pretty.
I can tell something's happening. $19. Hey, that's terrible. Yeah, that's horrendous.
But 3 shop and delivers.
Right. Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, obviously, I would love
to me, that's a joke. But that's a straight up joke.
Yeah.
And that's how yours look there.
Yeah, and but that's the thing. It's like, and we really haven't, like, we talk about it, but a lot of it hasn't made the video because it just hasn't made sense for the individual videos. But we see, I mean, there are
terrible.
Most of the Instacart orders are bad. In fact, most of the Instacart orders that we take is for a store over here called a grocery store over here called Stop and Shop. Which I don't know, like, if it's around a lot of other places, but we have a couple of different Stop and Shops over here.
And they're all basically the same, so they're all set up the same, so they're easy to shop.
And they're always.
I think our equivalent is we have the come and goes.
Right, so they're all low mileage, and usually they're like low item count, and you get like maybe 15, sometimes 18, sometimes $20 for these.
And
for these
quick.
Orders, and they're quick because they're like 1, 2, maybe 3 miles. They usually, now, but yeah, now what we don't show because we don't take them is our Instacart is bombarded with horrendous Walmart orders.
Oh,
they're
terrible.
all over the place on this app. I'll show maybe the next video recording. I'm going to show all the Instacart. That all the Walmart that's on Instacart, and they're all terrible.
The problem with our Walmart is we have on Long Island there are 3 Walmarts, and they're all terrible because they're just congested. Just everyone goes to their Walmart, and it's just and our Walmart, the one closest to us, they only have self-checkout.
Yeah.
So the line is like throughout the whole store. So it's like. I got to go do the shop. He's got to get online because
it's so
terrible.
Bad. Everybody goes to Walmart, which is why nobody is in freaking Target. Nobody's in Stop and Shop because everybody goes to Walmart. And you got this one Walmart. That's why it was like we were thinking about it too about Spark, which we haven't been able to get on anyway. I don't even know if we want to get on Spark because I think Spark is good in most places, but here, if you go and look at that drive up area that has all the numbers, there are cars, tons of cars there. Waiting for orders,
and there's like maybe 1 or 2 people loading the cars up.
Yeah, I can't imagine how long we would. I took one DoorDash Walmart order while they still had Walmart, and I sat there for 5 minutes without anybody even acknowledging my existence because there were so many other cars there that I just canceled it. So I would assume Spark is the same exact thing. I can't imagine like just the Walmarts in our area. There's too many. Again, Long Island. What is it? There's 2 things to do here, right? Live and eat. So if we have 3 Walmarts, all right, and there's only 2 things to do here, live and eat. Everybody's at Walmart. You got 3 Walmarts for Long Island. So think about the amount of the overpopulation we have here, and everybody's at these Walmarts. It's too crowded. It's crazy.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I still think, I mean, if you guys, I'm sure you've tried, if you do get on Spark, I mean, do it while you can is my point. Because we think the whole Spark thing is getting remodeled anyway.
Yeah,
well,
something
sure.
You know what I mean? Like eventually this thing's
going
gonna.
I never went back in. My application said that something happened with my background check. I'm like, what the heck?
Yeah, because we tried to get we couldn't get on our Walmart over here. They said it was full. So she tried to get on a Walmart in another town in Long Island that wasn't full because we figured if you sign up for like it doesn't really matter which one you sign up for. It's wherever you are at that particular time anyway, I assume. I haven't watched really much Spark content only because I don't do it, so I'm not really interested in it because I don't do it. But then I guess there was I tried
until you do it, it's
I
like I get the gist of it. I get what you're saying, because until you're doing it, it's
Yeah.
like I get the gist of it. It's
Yeah.
I'll learn it when I need to, but I do
Right,
need to
right,
address
exactly.
this. So when I put that up, the Driven Mom and Driven Dad, we actually on Tony's channel, the Driven Dad, we do a coffee in Colorado on Wednesday mornings. And we do it from my house. And this is Lisa making a comment about the screenshot I threw up from Instacart. I think she's pretty much saying that I live in the ghetto. I don't know how you guys read it, but that's how I read it, man. And I'm
I mean, there's that was definitely three. That was three
my
no
market,
tips.
Lisa.
Yeah, that was definitely three. That was definitely three. But trust me, we see those orders. We see plenty of those orders on Instacart too. You know, we just don't. We just would never take them. But I mean, that's why. Thank God for if we didn't have the Stop and Shop, you know, we do some Stuart Leonard's, we do some. Excuse me, I don't know what that was. You know, we got other supermarkets in the area. You know, once in a while, once in a blue moon, like we get an Aldi that's actually good. But we see like Aldi. One of the reasons you don't see us do a lot of Aldi is a lot of Aldi orders are like that, where they're stacked orders going super crazy long mileage, 10, 15 miles.
And Aldi
in
itself is just a terrible store. It's a mess.
Yeah.
And
this is why we miss Corner Shop, because Corner Shop did it right. Corner Shop did it right. They paid you per item and they paid you per mile. That's why the orders were so good. Instacart has their generic base pay, which is what, $7 plus they throw in a little bit if there's something heavy or something like that. And then it's relying on tip. Instacart is DoorDash. They the same model where it is 100% reliant on the customer. And we had a rant, I believe it was a few videos ago, that we were like, if you're ordering for groceries and somebody's going through all this work for groceries, how are you not tipping somebody for going freaking food shopping? Because food shopping takes work. Food shopping, you have to freaking get out of your car. You got to park your car. You have to go into the store. You got to go do the shopping. And then when somebody else is doing the shopping for you, okay, be by your freaking phone, all right?
Right.
Because now I need to know what you want. When you go food shopping by yourself, you have your brain. Okay, we're out of this.
I don't know.
Well, maybe
if
I'll
I don't
get
have my
this.
list, I'm lost without my list.
Oh yeah,
man.
I need my list.
Yeah.
But then there's always like, oh wait, I forgot that on my list.
Well, trust me, Mary had me go shopping for ingredients tonight for dinner, and I did send her some pictures because I wasn't sure. I wish I could show you this piece of ginger that I found.
Oh gosh.
Let's say, oh here, hang on. All right, kids, leave the room for a minute because I'm gonna show you guys.
I don't think he realized.
Kids,
what
why
it was.
are you watching this?
Trust me.
Wait, no, show the other picture first.
Of what?
No, that's where this is.
Oh, this is the one.
This is the one.
This is why I held it like this.
No,
but here, because I knew what it looked like. But here, okay, this is the picture of ginger. It's the only ginger they had in stock, by the way. Okay, can you guys see that? That's one piece of ginger. All right, and I made sure to hold it up for Mary afterwards. I don't know if
you can't see it. There you go.
You know. That's the only piece of ginger they had
mangled at the top.
Could you imagine? I'm doing an Instacart order, and this is the only piece of ginger they have. Do you want this one? I'd probably get deactivated instantly. Wouldn't be able to finish the order. But yeah, you know, so. It's not we take good orders, but yeah, there are just so many bad orders. But it's the same thing. It's just reliant on the customer tipping, and if the customer doesn't tip, you know, like that's the problem with the apps. That's why Corner Shop was so good, and that's probably why Corner Shop isn't here anymore, because they actually paid correctly.
And they probably lost a lot of money.
They probably lost a ton of money. The fact that we got paid $100-something for that stupid order, you know, I mean, come on.
So
that was a great order.
That was a great order.
Chris is making a comment here that I thought was true too. That I thought, honestly, till you said this tonight, I thought you guys liked Instacart at least sometimes. I don't want to say.
We do. We love it.
We do.
Yeah. We love it, but we love it because we take the right orders,
and because shipped
is gone.
It's completely silent for us.
We haven't seen a shipped. We haven't seen a shipped order in months. Now, I think it partially has to do with our ratings. My rating is like a 4.85.
Yeah, ratings is huge with shipped.
4.93.
Hers is a 4.93. We see nothing. Like nothing even. the only things we ever see are promo orders, and the promo orders are for nothing in our area. That's why we haven't done any ship.
So and there's no way that we can get our rating back up because we can't take those orders.
Yeah, how are we
they're
supposed to
too
get
far away.
right? How are we supposed to get the rating up if we don't get any freaking orders? It's like it's a joke. But Ship, I think, has a lot of other problems going on right now. They have a lot of issues,
and I was gonna say that even the orders are down anyway, but you have to be a 5-star out of the gate, get preferred customer. Everything has to go right on Shipped for you to be able to work Shipped. If you hit a bump on the way, all the apps aren't like kind to you when you hit a bump on the way. But if you hit a bump on the way with Shipped, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not. It's not a forgiving app.
No,
and I think that's really because it's membership driven. You know, they actually charge people to use Shipped. So I mean, I think that's the fact.
I prefer if the customer not rate us at all, then give us a bad rating.
Yeah,
just don't rate me. Like I've had a couple of Target orders where I didn't really like the shipped customer, the shopper, so I didn't even rate them because I didn't want to give them a bad rating, but I didn't want to rate them at all. So I wasn't going to give them a good. I just didn't do it. I tipped them
Mary,
still.
I couldn't agree with you more on Shipped, especially because they have this. There's no need for the customer to ever rate you on Shipped. I mean, I question it on a lot of apps, but on Shipped especially because they have the option to make you their preferred shopper.
Right.
So that should be the only rating needed. Okay.
Right.
I'd like her as my preferred shopper. Sweet. That's great. Anything else is just, they did fine. Great. Nothing
but
against them.
I have one preferred. I think you have a preferred shopper and I have a preferred shopper.
Yeah.
I mean,
preferred,
preferred customer. And I think I was at work like twice and I'm like, dang it, I'm at work.
Yeah. She's sitting there scanning a patient. Order comes in. Oh, sorry, patient. I got to go.
Right. I gotta leave. I gotta go do this shipped order.
Somebody needs a PB&J. Oh, good luck. Yeah. So it's actually really disappointing, and that customers have that much power over.
Oh, Driven Mom hasn't seen in 3 weeks a good order either.
Yeah, it's customers have way too much power on that app over what happens to the driver.
The tip potential, like, what is our percentage for tip?
Yeah, it's I did. Obviously, I got my spreadsheet. 25% of the customers that we have delivered to have tipped us on Shipped. That's terrible. And I miss Lidl. I miss shopping at Lidl because they have Lidl. I want Instacart to get Lidl so we can shop at Lidl again.
Yeah.
Here's a good tip for you guys. John Dash will back this one too. Dash Theory, and he's done a lot of Shipped stuff. So if you want to go see some good Shipped videos, he's got a bunch of them. But
he's a former poker player, by the way.
Oh, he is?
He is, yeah.
He is? Nice.
He is. I figured it out by his name, Dash Theory.
I think he actually told me once, but he didn't tell me on the level like you do. Like you tell me.
Yeah.
Like I think he was just like
his name is Dash Theory. His name is Dash Theory, and he had this thing Dash Theory Optimal, and a poker term is Game Theory Optimal. So then I said a comment like, "Did you used to play poker?" And he's like, "Yeah, I did." I was like, "That's how I figured you got that name from."
But yeah, so anyway, he does these videos, and him and he comes and subs on the round table for people sometimes, and so he's on the channel a lot, and we've talked about Shipped because we do it a lot more than anybody else that comes on, and he told me the same thing that I'm thinking right now, that it's gone down, but like come middle of November, I'm gonna start working Shipped even with mediocre orders, because between Thanksgiving and Christmas, Shipped rocks and the tips rock. I mean, really, really good.
We might have to go out of our area just to get some Shipped.
Yeah, because seriously, we don't get I'm talking the promo offers. The promo offers, we don't get anything in our area. Everything is so far away from us. Like it's never worth it, of course, because just taking a gamble on if there's going to be a tip or not. The offers haven't really even been, and we're constantly looking at offers from other zones just to kind of see still what's going on Shipped.
And they're not like terrible.
Yeah.
I mean, they're
our joke all the time is,
think
did
about
you
it
check Shipped? Yeah, check Shipped. Nothing's on there.
But think about it this way, you guys. Like, I mean, Uber's had their version of like, hey, here's a monthly service for Rideshare or for Eats or whatever. They get you a discount, but they never really work. I mean, some people get involved, and then about 6 months later, we hear, oh, we're pulling the plug on that. It's junk.
Yeah.
But with Shipt, these people are paying a membership, even if it's $5 a month. I mean, again, it goes back to the rating. Dude, take the ratings away because they don't want to see somebody paying even $5 a month doesn't want to see that a driver, Mary, has a 4.8 or 4.9 rating.
Right.
And they're not going to be sympathetic to go,
why.
maybe they just got somebody who gave them a bad rating. They're like, dude, I'm paying for a membership. I shouldn't see a 4.9. And so I think that's what deters Shipt from
who your driver is, who's picking up the order anyway.
Yeah.
So you don't see that until after the fact.
That being said, I also question really how many people even know about Shipt as well. I do question that as well. How many people are actually using this app to begin with? People know Instacart. I bet
around me, people use Shipt a lot.
Yeah.
Like when I do Shipt, it's kind of like what you guys do, I guess, with Instacart. You don't really do all the main stores and stuff. You look for these off the ones you like. I go to one specific Target only. Boom. And then I go do a Shipt run. I go back there and there's 3 or 4 available the second I pull back in.
Right. And
it's one of those ones where they're not what I just put up on the screen for Instacart. You know, it's not crap pay ones.
Do you have a 5 rating though?
No, because
I think the thing is with Shipt is their base pay. Like that's the thing. That's the thing with Shipt is their base pay is much higher. So if you do get a tip, it crushes anything that Instacart can give you 100%. And that's why I wish Shipt was working out. I really wish it was.
Because we were doing really.
We would do we were rolling. We had that video, freaking do Shipt. Right. And then Shipt was like, no. Thank you for pushing Shipt. Now you guys don't get any more orders, even though you guys are doing it as a team, which is against terms and conditions anyway. Which, by the way, we never got deactivated. Like you cannot tell me that Shipt does not look at YouTube and then see us, with this Shipt video about a Shipt scam, which is one of our higher view videos, and Shipt hasn't found that, and they're like, oh, should we deactivate them? Nah.
I will say this though. I will say though, like to anybody going through what they're talking about and what I'm talking about, like I agree with everything they're saying about Shipt right now. It's not even in my. I mean, it's in my arsenal because it's active and I have it on my phone, but it's not. Right. I'm not even turning it on a daily basis.
Yeah.
I mean,
the thing about Shipt is you never have to. It's like you never have to turn it on, right? It's basically
right. But I think I've even got it in an off state. Like if I'm really not using apps, I try and turn them to they're never using nothing.
Right. The other thing with Instacart is that I like as opposed to Shipt is the fact that Instacart gives notifications when there's a new order that is popped up.
Oh yeah, you constantly have to refresh.
Yeah, with Shipt constantly having to refresh. That's why we always joke around. Anything on Shipt? No, nothing's on Shipt. There might have been something on Shipt, but because I didn't refresh at that exact moment, we don't see it.
Missed it.
But we get the Instacart. We get the Instacart banner thing come up that I can click on it real quick. Okay, good order. Bam, hit it.
And it refreshes as a new order comes in. It's constantly. There's 7 items. No, of the 7 orders. Nope. Now there's 8. Yeah. Now there's back to 5. It's constantly refreshing.
So I think it's like Instacart is a terrible company like the rest of them, but we all know they all pay peanuts, and they pay peanuts because they can, because we do it. If we didn't do it, like not a lot of people were doing Corner Shop. There weren't a lot of people on Corner Shop.
So a lot lot of people didn't have the option. I live in 850,000 person metro. More if you take on the externals, and we didn't get the option.
Yeah, and we had 2 stores. We had Uncle Giuseppe's, and we had that food, that whatever the heck that place, the name of that place was called. So they paid for it. But what happens? They go to Uber. These offers now in Uber are the same offer, the same places. The offers are terrible. Why? Because Uber says, okay, people are going to do it. We don't have to pay a lot for it. It's all 100%. Well, I guess 99% up to the customer to really pay the driver. And Instacart's the same thing. $7. What do you freaking do? We were laughing. There was one order that we saw that had 180 items.
Oh yeah.
Classic. 180 items. It wasn't in our area. It was nothing we would ever taken it anyway. But 180 items going a little bit over a mile from where the store was. and they didn't tip. They didn't tip. And
that was it was a Friday night, right?
It was a Friday night. Yep.
So we saw the order, and then we were doing a morning shift. The same order popped up the next morning.
It was still there
no
the next
one was
morning
taking it
because nobody was that dumb. Nobody was that dumb.
They probably canceled it.
But I'm sure they did. They probably went to it's a mile away from their house. Freaking go to yourself and figure it out. Or get your goddamn groceries. It's a mile from your house.
Yeah.
But you know, it's just like Instacart at that point on that particular order.
And it was weird because the price kept going. Say it was like $15, then it would go up to like 20, but then it would drop back down to 10. It was very weird how the algorithm just kept like bumping it back and forth, back and forth. Yeah, very weird.
That sounds like what the round robins usually do, and that's not a round robin system, so that's weird.
We still really couldn't. That's one thing. Like we still don't. You know, while we like Instacart because it helps us make money, we can't for the life of us like understand like the rhyme or reason for some of their pay. Like why? Like they have a breakdown in their app, but it makes like absolutely no sense on where they come up with some of these
the other day. I think we did like it was like a 3-item, whatever it was, and it was like $15. And it was a short mileage, but then we did like a shop for like 10 items, and it was the same amount of money. It's just so
like,
weird.
Why is Instacart like where did like?
And it has nothing to do with tip.
Yeah, because sometimes the base pay is higher. Like what? Why? And we look at the app and we're like, why is it higher? Like, I have no idea. Like Instacart maybe likes his customer. Who the hell knows? They're just doing random things.
I mean, I gotta put this back up again because I gotta say that like. So when we were dissecting this, okay, I'm having trouble seeing it. But okay, $10.50 for the batch earnings, right? And you got 3 shops. And then $9.36 for the tip. My guess is that $9.36 is one of the orders.
Which is horrendous.
Right.
It's horrendous, not the great job by the customer. And all the apps do this. We know all the apps do this. But we've seen it more so with Instacart.
Mm-hmm.
Instacart, they definitely are the leader of screwing over the customer who tips.
And
that's what I was trying to. I think I was getting at is
video. But these poor customers that they're batched with, like we had one. What was it like? 5 items for one, and then 30 for the other customer. So now this poor customer that did their 5 items now has to wait until we do this 30 item shop. In order to get their stuff. Yeah,
the double batches. And Shipt has really been starting to do these. I see that they've been starting to do these double batches a lot too. The double batches to me, because this is the other issue with the double batches, is if you have somebody doing Instacart who maybe, I mean, everybody's supposed to have a bag to put frozen items in. But these batches that have multiple stores, and we saw one where we saw that it was a Costco, and I think it was a Costco and a Stuart Leonard's.
Yeah.
Which are not right next to each other.
And they kind of are.
But still, you got to go to one now. You got to go do the other one.
Who doesn't know where things are?
I don't know where anything is. But you get something that has frozen goods at the Stuart Leonard's.
Right.
Now it's during the middle of the summertime. It's going to be sitting in your car.
And we do have the hot cold bag, but
still, that hot cold bag is in your hot car.
Right.
You know, so eventually that's going to get hot. It's not like it's refrigerated.
It's going to cook your food.
Right. So now there's that person's frozen goods now melting. They probably tip more, and they're getting screwed over. So I think it's such a terrible job by Instacart screwing over these customers who tip in order to have the low tipping or no tipping customer. Usually it's the low tipping customer. Get their order as well because nobody else wants to take it because the customer didn't pay for the order essentially by tipping. Meanwhile, it really should still be up to the company to be like, well, this customer tipped pretty crappy. We should now have to pay for that by upping the base pay. Good job by I can't stand Grubhub, but good job by Grubhub. Not so much anymore, but they used to at least do it. Good job past Grubhub.
Good job in the past.
Yeah. Like
you did good, but now not.
If a customer didn't tip or tipped like $1, Grubhub would compensate that with bonus pay.
Now they don't.
Now they
but
don't.
at the same time,
I'm
man,
seeing
like
$3 orders on Grubhub. but that's beside the
I
point.
don't know. I'm not somebody who likes a forced tip or that kind of situation. Like, you want to tip these percentage options, or but at the same time, there needs to be some kind of. I mean, and by the way, I needed to address this, Jonathan. You just be
That's
careful,
very
but
interesting.
what's more interesting is you need commercial insurance to do Instacart anywhere,
Oh, really?
every state.
well.
However,
Yeah.
Instacart and this is what Legal Rideshare told me too. He said there's 2 out there that he goes, you needed to do any of this gig work. He goes, but there's
Well, of
different levels.
course.
I mean, there's Buckle, there's some other ones that are working with gig
Yeah.
workers. Even like
Mhm.
Allstate and stuff has plans now developed for gig workers where you're not getting a full
Yeah.
commercial license or
Right.
insurance. But
Yeah, you don't need right, exactly.
but
I mean,
Legal
you need it
Rideshare,
just
the
because
founder, CEO, and head lawyer told me straight up that Instacart and Grubhub do not honor any of their portion in any instance he's ever seen, and that includes just case reference, him looking into things. They have never honored anything, so they tell you to have it, but and even I guess in their language, we all click I agree just to get on board. But in the terms of service, it even says all this, that they're going to do something at this point. But where those breakdowns are is exactly where your insurance would be taking over the rest anyway. So your insurance has the first portion, and then it has to have that too. So really, they've kind of got out of it, but the others require it. And I guess one thing he said to me, I said, "Well, really, do delivery drivers need to get it?" And he said, "Well, what should I be telling you? Yes." Because it really could cause a problem. And he pointed out how a lot of people, and I know this has happened, but he pointed out how a lot of people, if they do have an instance now and they're doing delivery, that now, like if their car gets stolen, they'll walk home and they'll call it in from home as their car was stolen from their house. So now it's turning into a scam on top of it because people know,
Right.
I can't call this in. And so he was like, so what it's becoming more of a hindrance. So now the insurance companies do care because they're getting pissed because they know tons of people are doing it without the proper insurance.
Right. Well, I mean, the thing is, the insurance company really has no way to prove it. All right. If let's just say you're doing a food delivery and you get into an accident. And first of all, being a commercial insurance underwriter, I do 100% agree that you should have commercial insurance of some kind. Either it be the rideshare insurance, like the Allstate has. I know that that Geico has it in certain areas, because it's a very dangerous job that we're doing. And we got into an accident once that luckily ended up not turning out into anything insurance. But think about this. If you are not properly insured and you get into an accident and you can't, say that you weren't on a delivery, you weren't doing it, listen, you're kind of screwed. You're screwed because now you're, God forbid somebody has to go to the hospital. Well, there's no copay, there's no, deductible. That's you're paying out of pocket, all of this stuff. So to just have to deal with an insurance premium, insurance, it's funny. The first insurance exam I took, the first question on it is, what is insurance? The answer is peace of mind, because it's not tangible. You can't touch it, you can't smell it, you can't eat it. But knowing that is there, because God forbid the crap hits the fan, people say, "Oh, I'm not going to get into an accident." Well, how do you know? You don't know what the hell's going to freaking happen, because crap happens, things happen. If you're not properly insured, you're freaking screwed. It's just like, talking about the alcohol thing, that we were dealing with. If you're not properly trained and something goes wrong, I've never gotten into an accident while I'm on a delivery. Well, yet. But if you're doing it enough, law of averages says at some point there is a chance it will happen. And when it does, ask yourself that question: what will you do? How are you going to pay for that
Mhm.
person's hospital bills? How are you going to pay for that person's car that got totaled out? How are you what are you going to
Or
do?
I'm even thinking outside the box here now of, like, if you were doing even a delivery, I mean, rideshare gets different and it has the phases, but if you're doing a delivery or whatever, and, you know, uh you got carjacked and somebody took your car, but they also pistol whipped you or somehow beat you so badly
Mhm,
that you have to go
mhm,
to the hospital. Not only
mhm.
like, and let's say that, you're an independent contractor, you have your own personal insurance. So you're like, okay, I got insurance. Your insurance might actually step into the automobile portion and say, we're not covering you. I don't know that for sure. I'm just trying to think it through and say, dude, I don't,
No,
this,
I'm
you
going to tell
turned the
you. I'm going to
story
tell
into
you
a
they won't.
lie.
Insurance companies, insurance companies look for reasons not to pay claims. Insurance
Yeah, that's what
companies
yeah.
do not want to pay claims,
Right.
and
Like medical insurance,
yeah, they don't want to
like
pay
car
claims.
insurance, they want to know exactly what happened to you
Mhm.
to get you to that
Yeah,
position,
and
that
if
spot.
and while I'm not advocating anybody read through an entire insurance policy, insurance forms are very boring. Um, it's like it's funny. Sometimes people will ask me, "Oh, is this covered?" And my response is always, "Well, read the policy because I can't tell you if it's covered because I'm not a lawyer, and you should really hire a lawyer to read your insurance policy because there's a lot of language in those insurance policies that regular people are not going to know it's actually really excluded from your policy. And insurance companies know that. And insurance companies say, oh, you didn't look at page 75, line 3. This actually is not covered. And they will find reasons not to cover things. And they'll search and search and search and search and search until they find something. They at the accident that we got into last year, where the girl, this is on one of the videos, where a girl ran a red light and she hit us. And this was before we start. This is actually what ended up triggering us to get a
The
second
dash
GoPro
cam.
and make that actually look out the window. Before that video, we didn't have that, but this triggered us to get that because the insurance company ended up saying it was 50-50 because there was no proof that she actually ran a red light. So that can happen. That can happen. Now, I got freaking lucky as it was anyway. It didn't matter because somebody else decided to hit my car a week later and actually do more damage, and his whole insurance paid for the entire thing. But that's beside the point. Insurance companies will find a reason not to have to pay out, even though this girl very clearly ran a red light. But if there's
Mhm.
no proof, the insurance company said, well, there's no proof. And I even sent them a copy of the video, not I said this is from. I said my wife and I, we were just videoing ourselves. You know, um, I sent them a copy of the video, but they said, well, that's only like your reaction and saying of like what happened. We didn't actually see what happened, even though like that particular
Couldn't you tell
intersection,
where the point of impact came from?
you could tell like it was clear as day, and everybody who we showed. Uh, and if you even go back and watch that video, you can see it's clear as day that
That our light was green for a good couple seconds before we
yeah,
actually started.
and it actually took time to get to that point to where
Right.
sorry, where she
Right, because 'cause
would
you're
hit us.
coming from a standstill.
Mhm.
Right.
But
At the
insurance
red light, it
company,
turned green.
yep.
Yeah.
Hmm.
But insurance company isn't gonna, if it's not 100%, they're not going to pay. So be super careful. Listen, I'm gonna be honest. We do not have commercial insurance. We are taking risk. I think a lot of drivers are taking risk. It's something I'm definitely looking into though, because I'm worried that anything could happen. And I know for us, if God forbid something happens and there's a freaking, a bag of food back there or something, whatever, who knows? Who knows? like we're screwed. And that's anybody who's doing this. And I guarantee there's a lot of drivers out there who I know I see them. And it's funny, somebody actually posted a comment saying, oh, you guys, you have a really weird channel because you guys are just bashing DoorDash drivers all the time. Well, I just speak what I see from the other drivers, that I see. And I guarantee you a lot of them have no clue about commercial insurance or that they might need the insurance,
regular insurance,
or regular insurance. But yeah,
it's like everybody in here though and this happens every time we talk about this, and it's not against anybody, but they're like, but I don't need it for delivery. I don't need it. You do, technically you do. I don't really know what to tell you. Again, like he's saying, go back and read the terms of service with any of those places. They're going to say,
I want to respond to It's Peaches. It's Peaches says, it's pretty simple to read insurance policies. Then if you don't understand them, you call the agency, ask questions. Here's the thing. Your agent, okay, because I deal with agents, all right, your agent has no idea. Your agent doesn't know. So then your agent calls, if they have a wholesaler, they call their wholesaler, or if they have they call the insurance carrier to find out. They don't legally know. And if your insurance agent is interpreting a policy for you, there's something called E&O. He is now risking an E&O claim because he's interpreting a legal document for you that he is not qualified to interpret. Agents are not qualified to interpret insurance policies. Most people that work in insurance companies aren't qualified to interpret insurance policies, because if something goes to court, it's up to the court to interpret the insurance policy. So if an agent is interpreting that insurance policy for you, but then he's potentially looking at a big lawsuit himself. That's why,
right, because it's all compartmentalized. Your agent's gonna make the sale, but then you need the adjuster, and then you need the processor, and then they've got it all so that each thing is kicked up to the next level that will try harder to defeat you.
Oh yeah,
absolutely. I think of an agent like I do a car salesman.
Well, really, that's what it is. Most retail brokers, and I'm just speaking on the commercial side because that's what I do, because I do commercial underwriting. Most retail brokers, a lot of them out there, I hate to tell you guys, don't know what the heck they're talking about. And they are just selling a product that somebody above them at another company gave them. And they're more focused on premium than terms. They have no idea what the heck they're selling you. And a car salesman is really a good way to put it. They're looking at price. They're looking for lowest premium. And unless they're actually a good broker that's actually qualifying their customer and getting them the coverages they actually need, a lot of people, I'm sure, are not fully insured the way they think they are.
No, not at all. But even that even goes to say, even if you don't do gig work, you're not insured the way you think you are, man.
I don't do auto insurance. In fact, the insurance I do most is contractors, like artisan contractors, habitational, like apartment buildings, stores, things like that is what I do the most of. And contractors, you wouldn't believe contractors. That's a whole other story.
Oh, I bet. So I know you watch Bree.
Yes,
I know you've seen some of Bree. So it's Bree.
I saw her commercial insurance video.
Then Chris,
of course, I saw that
says
one.
$9 a month. But isn't Bree riding a motorcycle now?
Or she did a motorcycle episode. She did a motorcycle episode.
Oh, okay. So she's still in a car for only $9 more a month, or $9. Yeah, I don't get this.
Her video is what really got me thinking more about it. Yeah, Progressive.
$9 more a month.
Yeah,
it's not $9 a month.
the problem for us, we looked at Progressive, and we're with Geico, and Progressive was so much, because you got to remember, we have four cars and two 18-year-old drivers on our on our policy.
Right.
So it's like
Right.
we're paying
Yeah,
an
it's a
insane amount per month, you know, to begin with. But yeah, I would, you know, that's like what I was looking at too, is Progressive, because I
Yeah,
saw her
Progressive
video. I
is
was like, oh,
high.
Progressive is probably
Geico
good
is
for commercial insurance.
for us is like the cheapest.
Yeah.
right. Okay. So I mean,
$9
I
more a
know there's
month.
like
$9
grades
more a
of like
month is fantastic. If you can get rideshare insurance for an extra $9 a month, like I'd freaking sign up for that in a second, because then you don't, like, you know, I
Peace
don't
of
know what
mind.
exactly exactly peace of mind. And who doesn't love a little peace of mind in their life?
For $9.
For $9, not having to worry about if stupid schmuck runs a freaking, you know, red light or whatever.
That's one DoorDash order.
Yeah, that's what, right. That's one DoorDash order, as opposed to, okay, now I'm freaking homeless because I can't even afford to pay my mortgage anymore because I got to pay off somebody's car. Yeah, $9 probably is not full coverage, but it covers
the $9 more, but
it seems a little bit. But I'm pretty sure that's what she said in her video, and that got me thinking. So, and I love Bree. Bree's stuff is really, you know, I saw commercial insurance. I was like, oh, I got to watch this.
And plus, from what I know, I mean, with Buckle, I mean, Buckle bases around this, but I know that like even other, like I have Allstate, I'm just going to say it. And I know that with Allstate, they've got gig insurance that you really aren't, they've got you even covered better than if you just bought commercial. And it's going to be cheaper because it's only it used to be like, you know, if you were doing rideshare in 2015, they just were like, yeah, you need commercial insurance, but just go do it. Wink, wink. Like they were like, dude, you can't afford commercial insurance. Just do it. We're figuring it out. Just go. And really that wasn't the case. We all just got lucky kind of thing. But now it's like they realized, hey, this commercial insurance of X amount that they're not going to ever make and be able to afford isn't working. So they have brought it down to, they only need this 4% of commercial package. And they've even done it at most companies. Like I know mine has you in all phases now. So they've got you even in like the odd stage. Like I had Buckle, or was it Buckle? Yeah, it was Buckle. When I had Buckle on the podcast, the CEO said, you know, well, there's a stage where you know, you're getting, like if you're doing rideshare, where if you pull up to a person, he said, he was given an example. They had a person who was being dropped off at a hotel. There was some aggravation between the driver and the passenger. When he got to the hotel, the driver hit end ride, and the passenger had been out of the car and he kicked the door. And so this became this, well, you weren't on Uber and you were doing commercial work without the right insurance. Literally, they covered nothing. And and I'm careful to use the word gap insurance because Lou, you probably know that. I think it just brings up a lot of bad things in people's mind, but they were talking about it in a way where they've got that kind of gap covered.
Yeah.
That little space where in gig work, it's not like that random. It's not like, well, when would that happen?
Yeah.
A lot, you know, it's like, you know, you never know. But the fact that you can pay way less and get that, I would say,
and I'm sure that's better coverage. Yeah, I'm sure there's better coverage for the work because that coverage is going to have wording in it that's specific for that work, as opposed to regular commercial insurance, which probably doesn't really contemplate, you know, because it's more broad as opposed to. So I would think for sure. Now I don't know, you know, I haven't looked at anything because again I don't do auto, but I would just assume that rideshare insurance is more so the way you want to go, and with having these particular companies that are very easily accessible, like an Allstate, like a Progressive, like that would just be really smart. It's just just always look at, nobody ever wants to think about the worst case scenario, but you got to look at the worst case scenario. You have to, because if it happens and you're not ready for it, that's it. Big, like, change in life, 100% change in life over something that wasn't worth it. And, you know, again, going back, you know, I don't know if you saw the alcohol episode that we did. You know, delivering alcohol to somebody who ends up being intoxicated, and you end up having to go to jail for it, and all the ramifications for that over something so small is not worth it. Protect yourself with the right insurance. Don't put yourself in harm's way, and just be smart about it, because it's just not worth it for $7.
And same thing with rideshare. If you take an underage rider, under 18,
Mm-hmm.
kiss your life goodbye if something happens.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah,
because
yeah.
I mean, you'll
I
never
can only
pay that
imagine.
if you're gonna have a family suing you for the
Mm-hmm. Right.
death of their child or whatever.
Mhm.
Right?
Mhm.
Oh, he touched me. Good luck,
Mhm.
and even
Yeah.
with a dash cam, good luck.
Yeah.
Because you took an
Yep.
underage passenger, everybody's gonna your
Mhm.
insurance, Uber, Lyft, whoever, they're all walking away from you the second they find out the minor was in the
Yep.
car.
Yep.
So,
Yep.
that's when they
So who
jump on
wants-
and love the fact you're independent.
So after watching this, who wants to do gig work out there, everybody? Anybody? Hello? Oh,
So see,
there's nobody out there
wait.
anymore.
So it worked. It worked, guys. I told Lou and Mary that we could scare all you guys out of the market, and then we'd own it.
That's it. Oh my God! Wait, hang on. Let me check shipped. Look at the
Right,
orders.
it's
Look at all those orders we got.
everything's surging.
We got shipped orders again.
But yeah, before we get out of here, because it's getting late, and I can always talk to you guys forever. I love this. And I'm glad that it's been a minute, so I'm glad you guys are back, and I'm glad everybody joined us tonight.
Geez.
But what do you guys have coming up this week? Or I know we've kind of talked about it, but what's dropping, what's happening?
Yeah, so the next episode is our conversation, which got
that's on Friday.
That's gonna be Thursday, which is pretty heated, but it's also very interesting. I said to her,
not
I
miss
said to
Thursday.
Yeah, I said to Mary afterwards, after like we finally had like moved on from it, and I was like, well, this is going to be pretty good on the YouTube video.
Yeah,
so it's like at least it made sense, because we've had arguments before during shifts, but that doesn't make the YouTube video because it doesn't make sense. It has no, the video, it has to make sense. It has to flow. It has to be a story. If you put something in YouTube video that makes the video all of a sudden go, then it can't be in there. But this is. It is not really even an argument conversation between husband and wife, as more so between gig worker and philosophy on what orders to take, and then communication. So that's really what it was about. So it was actually really interesting. And then we got like a big shopping episode next week, and one video in between that I'm sure is going to be really good. I just don't remember what even happened that shift, but I'll remember it when I edit it.
I'm looking forward to this Thursday one, because you're talking about philosophy, but you guys have been doing this forever together, so I got to see how this philosophy discussion goes.
It was definitely one of those I guess we'll agree to disagree moments.
It just took you a while to figure it out.
Yeah, we eventually figured out what the problem was, and how this argument eventually started, and how how there was eventually a solution for it. But listen,
but it played out like good, because like we had the discussion, and then we came to an agreement on how we're gonna do things. So
and listen, this is marriage. This is marriage. It's amazing how many times I get comments. I feel like it's like once every 2 or 3 videos that somebody comments on the video and says, I would never do this with my wife. I can't stand like 5 minutes with my wife. I can't, I don't, but this is anybody who's married, you're if everything was roses every single day of your marriage, and every conversation, and you agreed on simply everything, I think it just, it's not realistic.
Right.
I think that having a marriage like ours, where we can bounce off each other, where we both have different strengths and weaknesses, which help keep us both grounded, that's the way it works. And I think this particular video that you guys are going to see really shows that.
Well, and we always said
I already get that from your guys' videos anyway.
Right. And
I always
we
get
did this
that you guys
together
have
to spend time together. It's if we weren't doing this together, you'd be off doing that, I'd be off doing something else, and we wouldn't be spending time together.
Yeah.
So it's all about, and making money.
Yeah. I just
no, but but I like the fact that you're putting out the video. I mean, here's my thing is that it's not like a lot of couples would say, oh, should we or should we not? I think that a lot of couples, and I'm not trying to be mean, the fight might not go as nicely as you guys having a conversation. A lot of couples fight in a bad way. It might be a negative thing to watch it, but I don't know. If you guys are putting it out, I'm pretty sure that,
there was one video.
It's maybe even a good marriage tool. Guys, watch this and understand things just happen sometimes.
Honestly, I really do. I really feel like this is what we said afterwards, is this video is, because you mentioned before, like that we do tips and tricks, and like while we don't do tips and tricks because we're not really talking to the camera that much.
No.
Obviously, you pick up on things.
I didn't mean it like a quick tip trick. I meant it more like a style.
Oh no, yeah,
like
but people say that they learn from us.
Yeah,
this video, what people are going to learn is about communication when you're doing this with your spouse or somebody you love, or just somebody in general. I really feel like it's going to really, and I feel like I think I said to you that anybody who's doing this as a couple is going to watch this video and be like, yep, that happened to us too. We had that same exact conversation, I
mean,
so.
here's Gigwise saying,
yeah, well, there was another I love some of these comments. Somebody commented once, divorce over a $7 order.
Dude, honestly, like in this chat tonight has been some of the coolest, some of my favorite people. They're just, I've been watching it too, and it's been hard to keep up because when you guys know me in the chat, when I'm having a good conversation, it's hard, especially when you guys are moving quick. But I know you amuse each other and you take care of it. But I love it when I'm trying to catch it because I see fun things and I'm like, I just can't grab it in time because I'm like talking and focusing on you guys, but I'm like seeing really like not just your average, I make this or I make that or this happened, but like some really like out there conversation. I'm like, wait, I want to tune in on that a little. So anyway, guys, thank you for coming on again. I'm gonna keep pushing for them to maybe try and do once a month with them. I like doing these. I think they're fun.
Definitely.
Yeah. It was
funny. I asked you like, oh, what's the topic tonight? We're just gonna kind of chill. I was like, all right, that's cool. I like it.
Yeah.
Just chill and listen. We talked for 2 hours with no topic.
Yeah.
we talked about the Top Dasher thing for a minute, but we got more into that last night. So yeah, it was really about just. It's funny when somebody goes back and like I will say this, that on last Thursday we had a round table, and somebody was like, half of the round table was talking about what okra is, and they weren't being jerks about it. Like everybody left okra recipes in the comments, and like, no, you eat them with collard greens. What are you doing, man? You got to fry those things. Anything's good fried. People were talking about all this stuff, and I'm like, what's going on? And then Gary was like, all we talked about was okra the next day, and I was like, well, we talked about by the time we were done talking, we had like 11 things we had discussed, but somehow this okra took over the whole.
I've definitely learned because we had an episode where we couldn't find okra, and I was like, was it okra? I didn't even know like what this was because I didn't know what okra was, and
that's what was going on with us.
And that triggered a bunch of comments about okra and like different ways to like make okra. So people are just like if you're into okra, like it's a passion. I could definitely.
Oh my gosh! And then it turned into this because I thought I do Hello Fresh for my son and I. You guys are familiar with Hello Fresh, right?
No, what is that?
I mean,
I know it. It's like a home. It's like a home delivery.
It's the cook meals at home thing, like any of them.
Right. Okay.
There's a bunch. Yeah. And so like we get 3 delivered, but I mean they take a while. This is like really cooking. It's good food, but I thought sometimes there's something missing and they'll say it's been replaced with something else, and it's usually really close. And I could have swore that once there was okra in a recipe, but they didn't. That it was one of the times they said, but we put this in instead, and it was like it looked like a root. And so I was like, well, okra's a root. And then people were like lighting up going, no, it's a fruit. It's not a root, it's a fruit. And then it's one of those weird fruits too. I'm like, it's not a fruit.
I thought it was a vegetable.
Okra's not a fruit, is
It's
it?
a vegetable.
It actually is a fruit.
Oh, maybe it wasn't. Maybe it was in the fruit section. Maybe we were just looking at the wrong section.
No, it should be. It looks like.
But it's like hollow too, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
But what was the other one that people brought up too that is never considered a fruit or
tomato?
Yeah. Yes.
Oh
yeah, like those.
We had
those
this discussion
stupid
at
ones
dinner
that
the other day.
confuse me.
James was saying like cucumbers aren't vegetables and
yeah,
because it has a seed.
But maybe that makes sense now because maybe that's why her replacement for the okra was watermelon.
Yes.
I was like, how do we go from okra to watermelon?
I mean, it's already restarting. Okra. We need an okra live channel.
That's it.
Tomato. Okra is nasty. What's up, Yost? And here it goes again. And now there's going to be comments in this show after the live is done. There will be comments about okra recipes and okra.
From now on, every episode.
I'm gonna start putting okra in every title of every video.
Yes, that's listen. That's all you. That's how you listen. You need catchy titles to get views.
Right.
Okra replacement.
All you gotta do is
okra is going to be it.
Yeah. I'm gonna check my YouTube tool that tells you what's like how to get views on YouTube. I'm gonna type in okra. And it's gonna be like yes, okra. That has to be in your title. Like DoorDash doesn't need to be in the title anymore. Just okra. All in with okra. I'm all in okra. Let's go.
Okra's book club.
That's it. That's it. I don't know if Ryan's still here, but Ryan, if Global Poker ever has an okra avatar, I'm definitely getting it.
The next what's the giveaway that you do? Okra.
I'm giving away okra on the channel.
The password or whatever. What do you?
Oh yes! Oh my god! I'm so using okra as a keyword for a giveaway. Oh my god! Next time for 100%. And everybody's like, "What okra?" And then I'm gonna get the global poker chat is gonna all of a sudden all be talking about okra. It's gonna be great.
Boobs, it's gonna be
now, just so you know, just so everybody knows, everybody in this chat, these two, myself, we're all gonna have, even if you have your Siri turned off, whatnot, all of our phones and devices are gonna be advertising okra for about a week.
Yep.
Yeah. Oh my god. I'm gonna turn.
Oh my god. Facebook. Oh god. Damn Facebook.
Oh, I just got a pop up from YouTube. Okra.
It's gonna be. Oh my god. I'm already now hating all the okra ads I'm gonna see on Facebook. And proper ways to cook okra. And then I'm gonna go on TikTok, and it's all gonna be about okra.
Well, now we'll know what it looks like.
Yes, I'll be an okra expert.
Okay, well, so
I've never seen it frozen.
If any, but no, you were right when you said that it's like hollowed, because I thought it came as a root to me, but I think that it kind of looks like too.
It looks like a clover, like almost.
Yeah, or almost like I was even gonna say like those little not like a hornet's nest, but those little like that look like the half a garlic thing.
Yes, like
yeah. That's what it looks like to me. I don't know, and that's why again I thought it was a root, and they're like it's a fruit. I'm like, all right, man. Like, I don't care. I don't care. I haven't tried it, and then people started getting really mad that I hadn't tried it. But hey, if anybody in this chat tonight starts seeing okra stuff on their phone, please come back to this video and leave it in the comments that you got a bunch of okra ads, because I went to St. Louis. I was around Gary, and I have never in my life talked about Branson, Missouri. I'm familiar with it. I've never talked about it. I've never listened to anything about it. Gary and his wife had just gone there. I saw them in St. Louis. I was around them a lot. We were talking about Branson way too much. And I came home, Hulu, my phone, everything. And I got all my devices off. All were running ads for Branson. I've never seen one ad in my life before that. I saw probably 50 ads in a week.
It's pretty scary. Pretty scary.
I mean, to say these devices saying, well, you can just turn off all the listening. No, you can't. I have them all off and you still listen.
Yeah. No.
Nope.
Nope.
So
That's why I say it's like I never see Mary's posts on Facebook because the Facebook algorithm doesn't want me to for whatever reason. How come you didn't like my posts?
I know.
Facebook didn't show it to me.
I didn't know gig-wise when I said it, but I'm glad I said it wrong because had I said that, then I would have got the ads again.
Yeah. Well, that's right. He typed it. He typed it on there. So that's it.
We need to start having code words for things. Like Bramson could be okra.
Proven fact that Alexa listens. It does not shock me.
Yes.
It does not shock me.
Pretty scary.
Yeah. Anyway, guys, I want to thank the chat for being here. We just hit 2 hours. I really want to thank Lou and Mary. And if you haven't checked out their channel, I have no idea why. It's in the show notes. Check it out. Subscribe, check out their channel, watch some videos, see what they do, and watch Thursday, I guess, for this release too. I mean, like I like watching everything, but it sounds interesting to me. It sounds like stepping outside the gig economy. It sounds like it's gonna be more about like learning. So
yeah. Well, listen, that's what we do on the channel. It's just like you know, that's why it's like it's a gig work channel, but like I feel like it's not
crosses
just
over into life.
Yeah, it's not just a gig work channel. Or if there was such thing as like a reality show gig work channel, like that would be it, you know?
Yeah.
Somebody said we need to get like a
TV show. It's like
true TV.
Yeah, you're getting a TV show. I'm like, well, people would watch it, that's for sure. It's definitely on TV. I mean, because people watch, and that's the one thing is like I love the comments I get from that we get from people who are not gig workers. You know, that they say, I've never done gig work in my life, but I just really enjoy watching your channel, watching you guys. And I know I watch on TV. We watch on TV stuff. You know, like we watch the home. You watch the home and gardening stuff. You watch people do stuff that you don't do because it's interesting. You know, it's just sometimes it's interesting to watch people do things that you don't do. So I think I like it.
Plus, the pandemic helped all of us YouTubers because people saw everything on TV, and now they're like,
yeah, YouTube.
You want to watch this? You want to watch some TV? Yeah. I've already seen everything.
YouTube is YouTube is honestly, to me, YouTube is like the best thing ever created because the fact that like you can literally watch whatever you want to watch on any topic you want to watch, and you type it into that search bar.
Episode 4 of season 5 of Cobra Kai. Johnny becomes a gig driver.
Oh, really? Oh, that's awesome.
Hey, don't be spoiling her. Don't spoil in here.
Or is that the hope?
That's the hope. That's the hope. But yeah, I mean, YouTube is great. You type literally anything into the search bar, and you can watch like literally whatever you want. You can usually find anything that you want, and then find tons of more videos like it. So I mean, yeah, YouTube to me, I mean,
if there's anything that ever has to be done around the house, YouTube.
Lou's
always YouTube.
I don't even try and figure it out anymore. I just go right to YouTube and figure out how to do it. And then I get annoyed that it takes like the plumber on the video 4 minutes to do the plumbing job, and it takes me 10 hours.
Yeah. Well, Lou, Mary, thank you.
Yes.
Chat, thank you. This is always fun, and we'll see you later on this week. Peace, everybody.
Yeah. Adios.